Hi again everyone, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my first TBR of 2022. So this is what I'm going to be reading in January, I hope. If you've watched, oh boy, I don't even know when all this shit's going to happen, but or when I'm going to upload it, I guess, because there are so many things I need to do right at the beginning of the month. But perhaps I have, and perhaps I have not uploaded my goals for 2022. So I don't know if you've watched that or if you just haven't even had the chance, or if you just chose not to, because that's fine too, I guess. What am I trying to say? The goals video kind of explains some of the books that I'm reading this month, but anyway, I'm not going to get into that in this video. If you'd like to know why, you can watch that whenever it's up. First, I have Walkers by Masterton. This is the first thing that I've ever read by Masterton, I do believe. Yeah, this is for a trope video I'm doing this month sometime where I talk about asylum horror, and this is an asylum horror book where a man buys this abandoned asylum and he's planning to renovate it and turn it into a country club, which kind of seems to be a reoccurring theme in some of the asylum books that I've found during my quest for asylum horror. And of course things go terribly wrong. I'll be able to tell you more about this when I do the trope video. Next is a manga I've been dying to read. This is Blood on the Tracks Volume 1. Don't really know much about it. It says, Seiichi's mother loves him very much and his days pass with placid regularity, school friends, and even the attention of his attractive classmate Fukiishi, until one terrible summer day that all changes. That's all I know. That's all I know about this. I'm very excited to get to it. I've heard really great things about Shuzo Oshimi's work. Next, I've got a couple series I'd like to continue with. The first one here is Thunderbird by Wendig. This is the fourth book in the Miriam Black series. And Miriam Black, I feel like I've said it a lot lately, but she is a person who, when she touches someone, she can see their death. And I have to say, Wendig's done a really great job making each book feel different than the last. It's not just the same tired, I don't know, instruction manual for this type of story where it's like, she touches somebody, they're going to die, she tries to make sure they don't die. It's not quite like that, and I really enjoy where the series has gone, and I really love Miriam, so I'm glad to be back with her and to see what she's gotten up to. She's very quirky. Also, another asylum horror. This is The Ward by S.L. Gray. This is about, it seems like there's two main characters here. One who is a woman who is addicted to plastic surgery, and the other is a man who doesn't remember being admitted to this asylum, and together they have to team up and try to get out. It seems like a place where people go in but they don't come out, and I'm gonna read about it. Then I have another series that I'm trying to continue with. This is Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman, of course. The first book in the series was called Scythe, and it's a utopian book. I mean, I guess we might be able to call it dystopian because you find out that maybe the utopia isn't all it's cracked up to be, but in this book, in the world that these people are in, we've kind of defeated aging and illness and death by serious injuries. And so people have to be killed some way though. And so they've created these people called scythes, and the scythes choose people to die so that the world doesn't become overpopulated. And some people just do it randomly. Some scythes use like statistics like, I don't know, this is a made up statistic, but you know, like 40% of men over 60 will die of heart attacks. So, you know, they use that to kind of choose who they will glean. And two teenagers have been chosen as the apprentices to this scythe, which is kind of unheard of. Usually a scythe chooses one, but this scythe has kind of made it a competition between these two kids to see who will become his apprentice. And yeah, I mean, that's what the first book is about. There's really a kind of like a crazy reveal in the end of the first book, so I'm excited to get on track with this one. Then I have The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa, and this is about these people on this island. I'm assuming it's a Japanese island. There's this strange phenomenon happening where objects are starting to disappear, and most people don't remember them being there after they disappear. However, some do, but they keep quiet about it because if you don't, the memory police will come and get you. And the synopsis is really short and sweet. That's basically what I gleaned from that, but I'm excited to learn more. This has been a book that I got last year, and every month I'm like, I really should read that. So I finally made it one of my 5-star predictions because I think I'm gonna love it. So that's my 5-star prediction for this month. Hopefully it's a 5-star read. Next on my list is a cold weather horror. This is A Cold Place for Dying by Kristopher, Triana. I feel like I've talked about this a lot lately too, but this is a book about a hunter who's hunting in, I believe, like on a mountain in the woods, and during his hunting trip, a storm starts to kick up, and as this happens, he comes across this woman who's like begging for help. She said she's been kidnapped. And then shortly after, a man comes across them and says, "This is my wife. She's having some mental problems right now, and she is my wife though." And so before the hunter can make any decisions on what they should be doing, the storm hits in full, and I'm assuming they're kind of trapped on this mountain. So I'm very, very excited about this. I hope I haven't hyped it up too much in my head, but I'm hoping this is going to be a great book. Okay, and then before my TBR jar pick, this is The Whisper Man by Alex North, and this was really popular when it came out. It's been a few years, but this is a thriller about a small town where at one point there had been like a serial child murderer, and he would lure children out by whispering outside of their windows at night, and then he would kill them. And that guy has been apprehended and I believe has died. I don't know if he's died for sure. I guess I'm just making that up. But now, I think it's like 20 years later, something like that, these very similar child murders start to happen. And so, you know, of course, people want to get to the bottom of it. And now on to the terrifying and titillating part of this video where I pick a star out of my TBR jar. It's been a while. Oh boy, should I dig far or should I not? Okay, blue star. That's usually fantasy. So the way I'm thinking I'll do this is if I pick a book that's in a series, I'll just read like the first book or the second book or however far along I'm at in that series, because before I would just like throw it back in, but that was kind of a cop-out on my part. So hopefully this isn't a big huge series, a big huge fantasy book. Where Dreams Descend. I think that came in an Owl Crate box once. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back, and I was right. This is a book that I got in an Owl Crate box some time ago. I don't know if it has a synopsis. I really love this hardcover without a dust jacket thing, but let me see if I can get a synopsis for you guys quick. Okay, so this is the first book in a series. This is by Janella Angelis. It says, in a city covered in ice and ruin, a group of magicians face off in a daring game of magical feats to find the next headliner of the conquering circus, only to find themselves under the threat of an unseen danger striking behind the scenes. As each act becomes more and more risky and the number of missing magicians piles up, 3 are forced to reckon with their secrets before the darkness comes for the next. The star, Kalia, a powerful showgirl out to prove she's the best no matter the cost. The master, Jack, the enigmatic keeper of the club, and more than one lie told. Okay. The magician, DeMarco, the brooding judge with a dark past he can no longer hide. So this is a duology, magicians. Actually sounds kind of interesting, more interesting than I expected. Sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. So, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna get some shit read. I wouldn't have like picked this up for myself, so this is exactly what my TBR jar is for. Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys have planned for the beginning of the year, for January, if you're reading any cold weather spooky horror, or if you're jumping into some series that you need to finish, or whatever. I'd love to hear. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope the beginning of this year treats you well. Oh God, I need a reprieve is what I'm saying. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.